threat of disaster is never pleasant.
Welcome to the Casual Preppers podcast.
These safety measures are essential.
The only place for prepping, survival, and entertainment.
This will be your source of survival instructions and information. Every member of the family must be coached in the business of survival.
Here are your hosts, Cam and Kobe.
Oh, welcome, buddy.
Welcome. Just spent 10 minutes of unsophisticated talk, which carries over.
Let's keep that going for another hour, shall we?
Yeah.
Hey, man, you know, it's the holidays.
It is the holidays.
It's festive. It's like it's the last day before the Christmas break for me, probably for you too, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
So it's like we're just trying to get through the day.
Yeah, yeah. I always see everything seems just a little bit harder for some reason.
Gosh, yes.
Every additional patient, I'm like, wow, these problems get tougher and tougher. It's like no harder than it's ever been. Like, you just don't want to be there.
Well, it's just like everything. I'm like, well, I'll do that after the holidays. I'll do that. I'm just really me today.
We'll get your cancer looked at next week.
I'm just like pushing stuff off until next week. That's all I'm doing.
It's
I don't
true.
even know why I'm here. It's surprised we even got a
It's
podcast
true.
going,
It's
to be
true.
honest with you.
I'll shower next week.
Yeah.
Got
Hey,
time for it.
I'll feed the kids next week after Christmas. You know?
I know, it's true. Everything gets pushed back.
Except for this. Today, this isn't getting pushed
This is
back.
why you don't push things back.
This, you know, I thought about maybe we got to call this like the procrastinating prepper or something
that's
like
a good
that.
one. I
You know
like
what I
that.
mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, what are we talking about today?
Well, we're going to talk about last minute preps.
Yeah.
You know, just before, like a lot of disasters, you're probably going to get a little bit of time.
Yeah.
And it's like, what are you going to do in those few minutes or hours before? Like,
Scream, panic.
yeah, that's it.
That's what most people are going to do.
Calling to work. I ain't coming in.
You
So-
got to be in. Holidays start soon.
I don't want to do this. You don't want to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we figured we'll do an episode of like those few minutes before any event. What are you going to do?
Yeah,
what are
maybe
you going to do?
Maybe you got a couple hours or something like that. What
Yeah,
are you going to do
I
in
don't
those
know.
few hours?
Play a little PlayStation.
Probably.
Maybe get some stuff put together.
Internet might be down. I gotta play.
I'm probably hovering over my kids trying to get them to do something.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But yeah,
I'm excited, but I'm also excited about BattleBox because it is the monthly subscription box full of solid gear for adventure seekers, survivalists, outdoor enthusiasts, and casual preppers. Each month, BattleBox sends you the coolest selection of handpicked outdoor survival and everyday carry gear, all valued at far more than what you'd normally pay. You never know what's in the next box, but here is a sampling of what users received this month. The Eco Vessels Wanderwear reusable stainless steel set.
now you know.
Now you know. How about a Rocket Gator Mammoth Series 60-liter waterproof duffel?
That's awesome.
Heck yeah.
I actually really like those little stainless steel sets.
Yeah, I have it in my bug out bag
Awesome
now.
thing.
It's
I'm gonna
pretty
eat it. I'm gonna use it for lunch.
sweet. Oh, yeah. Just keep it at the office.
I should.
Yeah. All this badassness starts at just $34.99 per month. They've shipped over 1 million boxes and won best subscription box of 2020. Our listeners get a free knife when you sign up at trybattlebox.com/casualpreppers. And actually, somebody told me that trybattlebox.com is not working anymore. It's just battlebox.com/casualpreppers. And I'm
Easy
never going to
enough.
be able to not say trybattlebox.com. So just know, just put in BattleBox and Casual Preppers. It's going to come
It's
up.
gonna work.
It's going to
It'll
work
yeah.
eventually.
Yeah.
Eventually, you'll figure it out. Even-
Somebody's like, I'm gonna make a website real quick.
yeah, I know. But go check it out, guys.
Reader.
I mean, it's the best stuff. It really is. It's good.
Listener reviews starts now.
Yeah, my bug out bag's basically a battle box pre-built bag.
it's
Like,
all it
I
is.
just send it to them and be like, you should market this.
Exactly.
So, listener review. Don't read this while doing a silly voice.
Oh, yeah, here you go. Here it goes. 5 stars.
Very informative and helpful for prepping mindset. And if you missed the prior Saturday with the boys, this show is a concentrated dose of the boys.
Exactly. We are, yeah. I mean, it's just like hanging out.
Kill the
with
sea
boys.
turtles via Apple Podcast.
Kill the sea turtles. I don't know. That seems
Okay.
controversial to me.
Yeah, it does.
But if you want to be controversial too, go to iTunes, go to Facebook, leave us a 5-star review, and make it awesome.
It's a mad, mad world.
Dude.
It is a mad,
Oh my
mad
gosh.
world.
China. Listen to this
Yeah.
headline.
Yeah.
Chinese brain warfare includes sleep weapons and thought control.
Oh, okay.
This is exciting.
I've been being attacked by Chinese
think
for
so,
some
yeah.
time now then.
China's military is developing advanced psychological warfare and brain-influencing weapons as part of a new warfighting strategy, according to a report on People's Liberation Army Cognitive Warfare. The report, Warfare in the Cognitive Age, blah, 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 was published earlier this month by the CCP Biothreats Initiative. The PLA is at the forefront of incorporating advanced technologies such as AI, brain-computer interfaces, and novel biological weapons into its military strategies.
Great. Awesome.
Yeah, super duper exciting. The report identified 2 recent studies by China's army that open source researchers say indicate the Chinese military is augmenting hard power weapons with new types of arms to help win wars without conventional weapons. The new arms include biological weapons designed to induce sleep or sleep-related disturbances in enemy troops. The goal is to impair cognition and alertness. Obviously, that would be bad.
Honestly, guess what, China?
Already there.
United States been doing this for years.
Exactly.
Not on people, on themselves.
On themselves. Other weapons involve devices that establish a direct connection between the brain and external technology, designed to influence cognitive processes and decision-making. Brain-controlled weapons are also being developed to enable precise targeting and manipulation of cognitive functions in enemy trooper leaders.
I don't believe it.
Dude, this is insane.
I don't believe it.
It's
like a phone.
I know. The Chinese army is also working on advanced arms that can be controlled directly by a soldier's thoughts and will seek cognitive manipulation and control of enemies.
That's very disturbing.
Other weapons it's working on include genetic drugs, pharmaceuticals designed to modify the genetic and physiological makeup of people and seek to impact cognitive, emotional, and behavioral traits. Dude, it just gets crazier and crazier. Military devices for cognitive war include anti-sleep glasses that are wearable devices that will promote wakefulness and alertness.
Aren't those the ones that just have the eyes open?
I don't
like Homer wore in a court.
Probably. Electronic arms include soft kill radio waves that use electromagnetic energy for non-lethal attacks, inducing drowsiness or cognitive impairment in adversaries.
Wow.
This is it's so
Every
crazy.
different way rather than bullets.
Yep. So anyways, look forward to that coming out soon.
Maybe that's why recently China had said, I think the president had said, or was it to Biden, that he was like, yeah, we're going to have Taiwan. We're not going to do it by force, though.
But we're going to have it.
I'm going to send microwaves and put them all to sleep.
Yeah. So anyways, that is something to put on your calendar, look forward to when it comes out. You know?
That's exciting.
Yeah.
Good. That's a different warfare. We need something. Mix it up a little bit.
Let's mix it up. You know what I mean? You don't want the same thing over and over.
No. We don't need it to look like the other two wars.
No.
In probably worse news,
yeah,
a massive tumbleweed was spotted racing down California highway on Tuesday.
Oh, really? That's too bad.
Yeah. The massive roaming weed followed the flow of traffic as it rolled through Simi Valley. National Weather Service confirmed that the colossal tumbleweed was created and powered by Santa Ana winds. Confirmed. Which occurs when the air of the region of high pressure over the desert flows westward toward low pressure on the California coast. It's pushing a bunch of weeds together.
Wow.
The state's coast is experiencing moderate Santa Ana winds lately. Some of the some of the watchers on it's not Twitter anymore, X, right?
Yeah.
We saw a giant tumbleweed like this in Simi Valley yesterday. Anyone else? And people had said, that's not a tumbleweed, that's a tumble buffalo. So that's a good one, right?
Oh, yeah, so good.
Looks like Mother Nature's playing tumbleweed basketball. Dun, dun, looks like more like a hay bale. But look at this. Look at the video of this thing.
Oh, I'll have to
pull it up. Anyways,
up.
it was the size of like a Volkswagen Beetle.
Volkswagen.
It is a huge freaking tumbleweed.
Oh my gosh, it is big.
Apparently, tumbleweeds can grow anywhere to 6 feet and taller. So
that one's taller than 6 feet.
That one is seriously the size of a car.
Yeah,
there's probably bodies in it, and
for sure.
So it's a crazy world out there. Tumbleweeds are getting to be the size of cars now.
Got to watch out for them.
So
keep your eyes open.
Dangerous.
Yeah. So today we're talking about last minute preps. What are those things, you're going to do in those last few minutes or hours?
Exactly.
Right?
We talk about all these different disasters. We got earthquakes and, wildfires, storms, alien invasions. For the most part, I really think we're going to get a little bit of heads up if something's coming. Something's going to happen. Either a lockdown.
Earthquakes, maybe not so much.
Yeah,
but
a little
others,
sneakier. But tornadoes and all those big storms that are going to knock out power and everything. we get a little bit of a heads up. So we thought we'd put together this podcast to talk about, like, what are you going to do in those last few minutes? I always think about that too.
I know.
Like our last scenario, the EMP, it's like, it knocked out stuff, but for the most part, the chaos hadn't started yet.
Yeah.
So it's like, what are you going to do in that moment where things aren't quite completely like chaotic yet? It's like, are you going to, you know, it's starting to get to that point, or you got a little bit of time, you know, where are you going to focus your energy and what kind of supplies are you going to get? And we figured we'd kind of break it down a little bit into those that are prepared more, like all of you, or and also for people that maybe have procrastinated, like you said, and they're like, oh, well, what do I kind of throw together
My
in the
guess
last few
is
minutes?
maybe there is some sort of thing coming right now, and all of you have downloaded this to try and figure out what to do.
This is actually a
right
heads
now.
up before. There's going to be a government message later today.
Well, I'm just saying, like, could be in the future, 2 years, and somebody's like, oh, crap, what do I do?
I remember that,
And they're going to come download this and listen. So just fast forward to right now we're just talking BS. So fast forward to the parts where we actually give you some good information.
True.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And before we do that, like, I want to talk about the most important thing, which would be just go to Redbox and rent all the movies that you can.
Do they even exist anymore? I know there's a few. Where was that?
I don't know
at?
if they're still working.
So I was walking into Maverick.
That's where I've seen a few.
They're pulling them from Maverick.
They're taking them out?
Yeah.
Oh,
they're going to be taking them out.
I don't even have I do have a working DVD player. Do you?
I have a
probably should,
PlayStation.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
But anyway, but what I would do first of all is I would build a list, like, because when things get chaotic, you know, everything goes out the window. You're just like, I can't remember like what I'm going to do. And you kind of get in that panic mode and you're like, first thing I remember, toilet paper. Go down and get a bunch of toilet paper.
Well, I think the list that we make today would be a great one to kind of write down and take some
So that's kind of why I led with that, is like, build a list of things that both, obviously, we've talked about having an inventory, and it's such a hard thing to do.
Oh, I suck at it.
To start one, to get it like made, and then to follow through with removing stuff from it, so you know where you're at and like what you need. But this checklist would be more like that emergency plan checklist, but add this to it of like, these are some of the supplies you need that you would go and get first. It's like, because I remember me and you going, like, at the very start of COVID, we're like, why don't we go down to the grocery store and just kind of see? And it was weird. It was weird because
super weird.
The shelves weren't like cleaned all the way off, but there was a lot of aisles that had a ton of like empty space that I'd never seen before.
Like, obviously, Cam and I did not need to go down there, but honestly, it was sort of like a little bit of an experiment. Like, well, what is it going to be like?
And it could have been worse, and we probably should have been more organized.
For sure.
I think I was buying like crap that I never buy.
Yeah.
It was like, I always wanted to buy those. They're super expensive. Let's just get them.
Let's get them, yeah. But I thought it was kind of interesting where it's like, we really don't have to go to the store. And that's part of this. Like, if you're really prepared, much of this stuff you won't have to deal with because you're ready to go. But you still might want to, depending on the situation. But
I think I would just kind of get a little bit more of, you know, just top things off a bit. And so making kind of a list of things that you would probably add to your supplies is not a bad idea. So
a list and a plan, because you know, hopefully it's you and your wife, or you and your husband, or boyfriend and girlfriend. Like, you might split up to go. One person goes to the bank,
or you're
one
stuck somewhere. It's like, will you go downtown, take that list, and grab a few of those items?
Exactly. So it'd be really good to have, and probably at the top of that list is going to say water.
Yeah.
I mean, and a lot of times this isn't the first thing that people think, and that's where it gets a little iffy.
I agree.
But once you get down to the grocery store, you say, oh, they are actually thinking about that, because you see how fast the water goes. It really does go fast. Like, when storms are coming and stuff's happening, it does really feel like people grab the water. Those packs.
They know it's like, we're going to need this. But.
Yeah, like, naturally, that's something they think about. But yeah, so water is it really doesn't matter how prepared I feel in this category, and I feel like I'm somewhat prepared, right? It's going to be the thing I think about first, because I'm like, oh crap, how's my water?
It's the hardest thing to have enough of.
It's so hard, yeah, and it helps everything else on this list too, for cooking and eating and all that kind of stuff. You have to
swallow better when you drink water.
Everything's easy. It goes down nice, right?
It feels real good.
Nice. So
if you haven't drank water,
you should try it.
Delicious.
You should try it.
Yeah.
I like to put bubbles in mine. But
I thought you were
it's
saying I
good.
like to put butter in mine.
butter.
It's real slick.
Oh yeah, man, it goes down nice. So like even if you are one of those people that has hundreds of gallons stored, you have 100 different ways to filter and purify this water. It's probably something you should consider looking at if you have a few hours or whatever it is before an SHTF event hits.
Yeah.
You want to consider looking at water, bulking up or whatever it is there, right? So maybe you do go down to the store, and I would suggest you probably do, depending on the situation. If there are bottled water available, grab a couple of packs, right? I mean, it's not going to hurt to have that stuff on hand. It just grab some more. And maybe you do feel like, I've got so much of it. Well, then think about some other stuff. Maybe you consider like some soda and some sports drinks or some juice.
Some mixes, right?
Some mixes,
like freaking water gets boring.
It really does get boring, but that's another
You're going to
way.
grab all those CO2 cartridges, right?
Oh, dude, I'm going to be the only one grabbing those. They're going to be, what's going on? I don't know.
I like to feel balloons.
I gotta have those bubbles. So you would consider other stuff other than water that would still keep you hydrated. That you could drink. And then when you get home, do you have a water bottle? My guess is if you are prepared, you probably do. I would fill that sucker up. You probably have several tubs in your house. One of them is going to be okay if you fill it up with water.
I wanted to fill one up just to see it.
See what it's like.
Yeah.
Yeah. And sleep, take a nap on it or something. It's like a water bed.
I'm raiding in here. Get out. Not even wet.
Raiding. So I would probably consider doing that in those last few hours, even if it, you're not sure. Like maybe it won't be too bad.
You can never have enough water. Like it's like,
yeah.
And one thing about like these lists I was thinking about too is like, I also don't want to be like, that butthole that's like throws down 10 grand to buy everything of one item.
Exactly.
It's like I'm gonna buy it all. I don't care.
Yeah,
and that's gonna happen in some. But
it's hard. It's hard to care too much.
It is hard.
At that. And
point. So I'm not saying that's entirely wrong in that scenario. But it's also like if you have a lot, there's no problem with adding to your supplies. But you don't want to buy it all unless you want to, whatever.
Exactly.
Do whatever you want.
So, same situation. You're thinking about water, but maybe you haven't thought one day in your entire life about preparing water, about storing water, about, you know what I mean? So this is actually becomes really, really crucial at this point because you got to have water. Like you can't live more than 3 days without it. So you need to get to the store ASAP.
Yeah. These are usually the people that are like stacking their grocery cart clear to the top.
And I get it because you have to do something. If you have nothing at home,
it makes sense.
If you have nothing at home, you have to do this. The problem is, like I spoke about, a lot of times you get to the store, that stuff's gone.
Yep.
It's just gone, and it's gone so fast.
I don't even know how it happens. I think it's people that work there.
Maybe it is. Yeah, maybe they're just
like
grabbing
wheel it all in the back.
I don't know. It's all gone. Everybody took it already. But again, you could look at alternate liquids. You could get soda, sports drinks, juice, anything else that will still hydrate you, right? There's tons
I think
of
that's
that
easy
stuff
to overlook that too.
Yeah.
Like, there's no water. What do I do? There's a lot of other liquids in there.
Yeah, exactly. You could still stay hydrated even though you're going to get a bunch of sugar or it's going to be bubbles or whatever it is.
Right.
Nobody buys bubble water. Nobody buys the bubble water. So you could just open it up and let it go flat.
That's true.
Eventually it becomes regular water.
Still tastes weird, but
still tastes weird. Also, so once you've got that looked at, you're going to probably want to go to the camping section. Maybe you're at Walmart or whatever it is, and you want to get a water filter or two.
Yeah.
If you're at Walmart, there might be some in that section. Who knows? My guess is they'd probably be gone quick, but a lot of people may not think about it.
Yeah.
Then
I think a lot of grocery stores have like the Brita filters and stuff, right?
Dude, yeah.
Usually have an aisle ones. They're not the most convenient filters, but you definitely want to.
And I don't know that much about Brita filters, like what they
They're probably not going to
filter. I don't know.
I don't know either. They might just be filtering out the poisonous fluoride.
It might just be like taking out mineral, like hard water.
Yeah.
I don't.
Might not do anything.
It's nothing.
Sorry, Brita. I don't know if you're listening. Somebody works there is like,
they do stuff.
They do a lot of good stuff.
Yeah. But so once you've got that,
I'm John Brita.
I'm Mr. Brita. This is my wife.
Excuse me.
This is my wife, Brittany. Brittany Britta. Of course.
Brittany and Britta.
You know what I mean? Yeah, so once you've got whatever you're going to get at the store, now you're going to move home and figure out what you're going to do there. Number one thing is start filling up cups and glasses. What are you laughing at?
So stupid.
It's
a good podcast. Number 14, philosophy.
You know, we were looking at the charts today. We're number 14 in all the world in philosophy podcasts. Yeah. Let's talk about some philosophy. Brittany Britta. As I drink my Monster Energy drink.
Yes. Those will clean out fast. I guarantee it.
Oh, you clean out your colon fast. For
The
sure.
energy drinks will go before the water. I am
probably
almost
will.
certain.
But again, I mean, if they're there, grab some.
Yeah, for
you know
sure.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Just grab some.
2 for 1.
Try to take it from the
on
meth
sale
head.
today.
The meth head's got it first. But you
If you have a
gotta take
case of water, get 5 Red Bulls.
Well, I love how you're like a 1920s salesman at the grocery store.
That's who owns all of everything, right?
I think so. He's an oil baron and he sells that stuff.
Get out of here, son.
Yeah, don't you know there's an emergency coming? Grab yourself a Monster.
Grab a barrel of oil on the way out.
How many barrels of oil you need for your home? At least one. Everybody's got to have one at their house.
Yep.
Anyways.
Buy a barrel of oil, get 2 oil lamps.
Oh, sweet, sweet oil, I tell you. That sweet, sweet black gold.
Sweet, sweet black gold.
Okay, what was I talking about again?
I'm
going
sorry.
home. Yeah, start filling up some containers with water.
Yeah.
Maybe you don't have a water bulb or a barrel, but you do have Tupperware. You do got bowls and a pitcher probably,
Yeah.
Fill that stuff up.
Yeah.
Get it ready. You're going to look, it's going to be weird. You're going to look like the girl from Signs, but you should have as much stuff as you can have
Just
around
like
the house.
surrounded by water.
But it's water.
Don't touch it.
Yeah.
Drink that
it's
later.
probably going to have flies and stuff in it by the end
Can
of the
be
day.
filtered.
But you could just scrape that stuff off the top and drink it. It's whatever you can do.
Protein water.
Yeah, protein plus hydration. Anyways, so think about that. Also, you could consider if you have like almost empty like detergent buckets or bottles, fill those up with water because that will be great for cleaning and washing and all that kind of stuff, right?
Washing, yep.
Washing it. And if it looks like this thing is going to be super bad, like this is not just like your everyday average 2-day SHTF. This is looking like it's going to be insane.
Yeah.
Start considering rain catchment. Anything you can do to gather water because it's going to be super important.
Yeah.
Right. And remember, this isn't just for drinking. You have to consider water for cooking, hygiene, cleaning, all of that stuff. So don't overlook it. If you got bottles of Windex, fill that shit up. You know what I mean? Just get it.
You know what I'm talking about?
Just put the water in it. Sweet
Bottle
liquid.
you got.
Old shampoo bottles.
Every time you shower, just fill those serum bottles clear full, half full of water.
Yeah.
Your
You got
significant
a hard
other will
hat,
love
put some water in there. Anything that will hold liquid.
Yep. Just tie the legs off in your pants and fill them full of water.
Get a garbage bag, put that water in there. Don't poke a hole in it.
Yep. But for reals though, like you're gonna be wanting to collect every little bit of it.
Get wet with prepping.
Start sweating, you catch it. You drink it.
We did a sweat catchment
Pull
device.
back in your mouth.
What's this?
I don't want to. It's going down your chest.
Oh, is that what it is? I thought you were like under boob sweat or something. You were a woman. That's what it looked like.
Well, that's sweat.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I feel like food, the next one is probably where most are going to focus.
Sure. Yeah.
Like it's like, I'll grab a little, gab. Grab a
little.
little water along the way, but I'm really here for the food.
Yeah.
I'm here to get the beans and the rice.
Chippies.
Yeah, exactly.
Salt and vinegar.
But for the prepared, like obviously, you've got your 25-year shelf life, and that I found that to be really hard during COVID because I was like looking at all of my, perishable goods and stuff, and that's what went fast. And then I'm like, I don't want to tap into that 25-year shelf life because I don't know exactly where we're going to be. So this is where I think it's useful to go and shop during like the early time because you're going to want to pick up more like perishable goods, like fruits and vegetables too. I like that makes a lot of sense to me, but I feel like I'm gonna have a harder time going for that stuff.
It will be.
I'm probably gonna be I would probably look more at like canned goods,
especially people like us that consider this stuff so often. Will be like, well, that fruit's gonna be good for like 2 days. But if I get this canned, whatever, I know it's good for like 2 years.
Because it does make sense. Like, grab the stuff that's probably not going to come back.
Right, yeah.
Like, you're not going to get any shipment of it or anything. So it's like, grab some fruits and vegetables and you can stretch them out a little bit more, but you've got to eat it all right away.
That's the hard part. And then, like, you might even consider...
I'd start eating it there at the grocery store.
Oh, I'm eating a pomegranate as I go. Those are hard to eat, but I'll figure it out. But like, and then
hard to figure out.
But you might want to consider like frozen food, but then you're like, well, what if the power goes out?
I know.
And then I've just spent all this time and energy on stuff that's not going to stay good.
Exactly.
So it's really.
But that was also something that was super hard. I remember you had to like wait and order and you had to, like, a couple of days. They're like, we got your 2 pounds of frozen chicken. You had to go get it.
Yeah.
So it's like, you don't know if that'll ever happen.
I remember grabbing like random weird, and if it was frozen, I was like, I'm just going to buy it.
Yeah.
I'm just going to, whatever it is, I'm just buying it.
Because you luckily still have power.
Exactly.
And you don't know. So,
yeah.
So, like, getting food, I'd probably go for those things that are going to last a little bit longer, but not necessarily crappy, tasteless, like storage food.
100%.
Unless you have, nutrient survival. But
yeah, sure.
But,
there's other food that tastes good.
There is.
Like 25-year shelf life.
So canned goods, they're probably going to go pretty fast too, because that's an easy thing. It's already ready to eat. It's prepared. But like, don't look past like refried beans and stuff that don't get used up. Like stocking up on those canned goods, those canned meats, that's going to go a lot further, and it's a lot more tasteful a lot of the times than your.
Get that Spam.
Oh, I love that Spam. That gel. You know how many calories it probably get you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Slurp that down.
And greases in your insides.
Yeah.
Everything moved through quick.
Yeah, exactly. But I've I haven't been through a really bad disaster, but I did notice during COVID, like the beans, the bagged like rice and bean stuff, those things were still there. So it's like those can go a long way, and they store for several months.
But you remember when flour wasn't there anymore?
Flour went fast.
It went so fast.
Yeah. So
crazy.
I'd go after like frozen food, stuff that you can cook, tastes good, stores pretty well as long as you have power. And if it's out, then you guys have a feast.
Yeah.
Canned goods, I think those are an excellent thing, obviously, because there's a lot of different types. I mean, you go to the little Spanish aisle and you get like feet and stuff. I mean, that stuff's going to be there in most communities unless you have a strong, Hispanic community that loves that stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, rice, beans, pastas that are packaged. I'd be grabbing some of that. Baking goods, flour, yeast was impossible.
Yeah, you couldn't get it.
So it's like I would get those things that you can prepare and kind of stretch out your food a lot longer before having to get to your long-term shelf or your long-term foods. The other thing is, like, make sure you have a manual can opener. Yeah,
it's important
because with these disasters, you don't know how long your power is going to last.
That's like that. Have you ever seen that Far Side comic where there's an old guy and his wife, and they're down in their bunker, and it's like stocked with all this food, and up on top you can see the mushroom cloud and stuff, and he's just like, gosh dang it, I told you to get a can opener. They didn't have a can opener.
It makes sense.
It's funny though, because a lot of people don't think about that.
No, a lot of us just use an a automatic one, or we never open cans. My wife does.
I make her open all the jars too and kill the spiders.
Exactly. And then if time permits, when you're back home, like a lot of people, like a lot of forums and stuff, I have suggested, like maybe start cooking now while you have power.
Sure.
Like cook a couple bread loaves and things like that you guys can eat for the next few days until you possibly lose the power.
Yeah.
Then you're turning to your canned goods and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And that's kind of more for the prepared. As for the unprepared, I would recommend for them to go for the longer shelf life foods. Canned goods. You could look at the frozen stuff, but canned goods, bagged beans, flour, and stuff like that is probably where you want to focus, because you don't have anything, and you're going to have, you're not going to be able to come back and get stuff from the grocery store. So for those that are prepared, I think canned goods and kind of better tasting foods and stuff that doesn't, that complements your long-term, medium-term foods. Whereas the unprepared, you're going to want to go for the stuff that can last longer because you don't have any other choice.
Yeah, and one of the things to consider, especially if you are unprepared, if you get to the store and it's just picked over, you might consider this even before you get to the store if you know that it's going to be crazy. Consider alternate places to go buy that stuff.
Yeah.
Even a local gas station has canned goods.
They do
a lot of times,
Yeah.
right? So you can stop in there, clean them out.
That aisle.
It's going to be more expensive, but why not clean it
Yeah.
out? A lot of people aren't thinking about it.
Yeah, it's probably going to be one of the least. And also yeah.
Yeah,
So,
they'll have water.
like even
they'll have
like
canned
dollar
goods.
stores and stuff like
Dollar
that aren't
stores.
like necessarily grocery stores.
Yep.
They kind of have a variety of everything.
And I'll talk about this in another one, but also places like Cal
It's
Ranch.
probably a better choice to go to those first.
I know,
honestly.
that's what I'm saying. Places like Cal Ranch and stuff
That's true.
also have different types of food
Have Alpo.
sometimes. They have, well, yeah. I mean, yeah, they do. I know they have those old-fashioned candies.
Yeah.
You could get that stuff.
Oh, yeah,
there.
yeah.
But you can go to they'll have water. A lot of times they'll have water. You can go to these alternate places that most people are like, I got to get to Walmart. I have to get to Smith's or whatever it is. So
It's true. That is like the first thing is
Yeah.
like go to the grocery store, get as much as you can, and that's what everybody else is thinking.
Exactly.
So, I think that's a really good point.
So
to
if you
put
pull
in.
up and it looks like a gosh damn zoo,
Yeah.
go to Maverick or
Exactly.
or Circle K or whatever it is
Yeah.
and go get that stuff. Why did
No,
I
it's-
say Circle K? I've been to a Circle K in 30 years. Do those still exist?
I don't know, sir. Why did you go to Circle K?
Come get that sweet, sweet gasoline down at Circle K.
Kmart, Sprouts, right?
Yeah, I know. Man. That was weird.
Yeah.
Come down to Sears.
Yeah. But yeah, no, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
So it's like if you can, or if you're at the grocery store when stuff happens, and then you're in a good spot. But
Yeah.
if it just looks like chaos and everybody's going there,
Yeah.
hit up those other stores that do tend to have some of those canned foods.
Yeah.
I think the canned food's probably like the primary thing I'd be looking at. Then after that, you'd look at packaged like you got ramen and you got spaghetti and all that stuff that kind of gives you several months.
Yep.
And so, but yeah, there's your food plan there. So
Yeah.
I don't know if you got anything that is all over the place.
But also, when we talk about food, there's also like other stuff when it comes to cooking that you might want to consider. So like cooking supplies and things like that. So if you are prepared, you might just look at bulking up like the essential stuff that you might need. My guess is that you probably, if you're prepared, you already have an alternate cooking method.
Yeah.
Because if you get home and the gas isn't flowing and the electricity isn't flowing, you're going to have to find a different way to cook stuff, right? But most likely, if you're prepared, you already have that worked out, so you don't need to worry about that too much, but you might consider grabbing some additional fuel for whatever thing you're using to cook, whether that's, propane or butane or whatever that kind of protein, all that stuff. But you might consider grabbing some extra seasonings or oils and stuff like that.
So
right?
yeah, bringing that up, that was the part that caught me off guard.
Yeah.
With COVID.
Yeah.
The cooking oils were gone.
Yep.
There was no yeast. So it was like,
Yeah.
well, I guess we eat unleavened bread every night.
Which is fine. Like, you can do that for sure. But
yeah,
nice to
it's
have it.
weird. Yeah. Like the convenient cooking oils and things like that, they were gone. And it was really weird to try and like make a meal plan without those things.
It definitely changes the way you look at it.
So,
So and then if you're unprepared, this is where you have to consider finding alternate ways to cook this stuff. And most people are not even going to think about this
No, not at all.
Right? They're not even going to
they
think
got a
about it.
microwave.
They got a microwave.
That's what they
Like,
think.
Oh, yeah, I can't do that. You got an electric stove.
Got an air fryer.
What are you going to do? Yeah, I got an air fryer. So you're going to have to figure that out. So my guess is you're going to want to go to like the camping section at your local Walmart, or maybe you're going to go to, Sportsman's Warehouse or whatever that is, find a Coleman stove or charcoal grill or whatever it's going to be to be able to cook. You're going to want to grab fuel for that and briquettes or
It's
whatever.
funny because we have like that setup. It's like Davis.
Yeah.
And the camping and hunting supplies right next
right
to it.
there,
So we
yeah.
have like a grocery store and a camping, hunting and all that. It's like right next to it. It's like you can get all that stuff in one loop.
Yeah, and the funny thing is like we're saying all this with the thought that all this stuff is going to be open and operating.
True.
That's
true.
not
They can shut it all the way down.
It's not necessarily going to be the case.
Yep.
So
And you
just
bust that foot out and kick the door in.
Yeah, give me
Get
my
it.
friggin' all, cooking all.
Yeah. Where's your garbage bags?
Where's your garbage bag?
We'll fill water and gas into them.
Yeah, not the same one, different ones. Yeah, get a grill. Maybe you just get like one of those camping grills in case you have to just start a fire in the backyard to cook.
Yeah.
You think about
and
that.
you can cook them in your garage and not
For sure.
kill everybody.
Yeah. Also, some fire starting gear in case you do just have to make a campfire out back. You can
For
do
sure.
that. Do you have a can opener? Again, think about that.
Yep.
I would probably consider like paper plates, plastic utensils. Because
you wouldn't think about those, but man, what a convenience.
if water is a premium for one thing, washing those might be difficult. So
there was
having
some
that
list
stuff-
I saw that was like, do your laundry at the start.
About that.
And okay,
I'm gonna
good.
talk about that
Because I
later.
thought that was an interesting thing that I had never really thought about. It's like, like
It should.
you don't want to go in there with all of your crap dirty.
Yeah, exactly. So anyways, those are like some cooking supplies and ways to cook you should consider.
Yeah, that's great because like I said, that one caught me off guard. I did not have all the best cooking supplies during COVID, and it was like, well,
Here
we
go.
die.
We all died.
Yeah. The next thing, and you kind of mentioned this a little bit, is like fuel and different types of fuel.
Yeah.
So for the prepared, and this is why we always talk about having your gas tank half full.
It's so
Not half empty,
no
half full.
Half full. It's a hard thing to do.
It is a hard thing to do. It's because right now the gas prices are great.
They're feeling good.
Yeah.
Feeling good right now.
But it's hard because you're just like, ugh, the gas station's inconvenient. This isn't Oregon. They won't pump my gas. I know.
I know.
I don't even know if they do that now. I thought that was starting to
know.
die off. But gas, yeah. So top off your gas tank is something, if you have the chance to do it, like I said, for the prepared, it should only be half a tank that you have to fill up. Gas stations are going to get toppled quickly.
Yeah, and I was thinking about this too. Like, we have a gas station that's a Walmart gas station, so it's right there. That gas station's going to be a freaking madhouse.
Oh, for sure.
But if you can get in there and get your fuel, you could go inside.
Yeah.
And they have food right in that little gas station too that you could wipe them out.
And if you can be efficient at all of this, like I don't think the gas stations are going to be entirely out of service or out of gas or the pumps, as long as it isn't something that kills the power. So I do think is a good opportunity, like on your way back home after you've collected things, you probably should get as much gas as you can.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah.
And so fill up whatever vehicle you're in. And then the other thing is like look at different ways to transport fuel home. Gas cans were hard to find during COVID.
Yeah,
so it was like, but they're not the best thing to store fuel in, but anything that can hold fuel.
Sure.
A 5-gallon thing for water, and if you have an extra one that you didn't fill with water, you're like, I'll put some gas in it because there's a lot of uses for that. Obviously, if
Stanley cups.
if you're gonna bug out,
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Fill up your wife's Stanley cup with some premium.
Yep. It's got a nice top on it. You're not
I
gonna
know.
spill it.
You can shut it. That's great.
It's great.
Drink your
I
Monster.
do have a lot of like different.
Oh my gosh, you got so many of those.
So I was like, it probably could fill
To the
half
point
of-
where it pisses me off when I open that cupboard.
Yeah.
Because everything's falling over and falling out. There's too many of them.
Yeah. But a lot of times the primary fuel for a generator is going to be gasoline.
Yeah, sure.
So, so looking at gas first, go to the gas station, top off, fill whatever you can with gas, whatever you can in a can with gas. And then the next thing is like if that is overflowing with people and you're like, gosh, I'm going to need gas for my generator and my vehicle, consider going to like Lowe's and just picking up several of those cans of, the 4-stroke fuel and stuff. You can just pour that in. Even that 2-stroke, it's going to burn just a little dirty, but
Dirty burn.
But yeah, it's kind of places that you don't think about that have fuel that you can use. And then the other thing is propane. So many uses. One, I would probably try and find several of the little portable, camping ones, the little green cans. Buy a few of those. And then if you have propane tanks, I try to keep mine topped off during the winter because it's like, I have a heater in the garage that's portable that can be taken inside. I actually just bought that one I showed you.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Cool.
Because I'm like, propane is really nice because it can burn clean indoors.
Yeah.
And so you don't have to worry about like, I won't start a fire, break up the furniture.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
And smoke everybody out.
Everybody dies from
So
asphyxiation.
gasoline, then propane. And then like I said, you have to look at those other places that do sell that you don't commonly go to, like Ace Hardware and go to Lowe's and pick up some of the little, yard equipment fuel cans. Like super easy to store, and those store for even longer than just regular gasoline.
I mean, if you're getting fuel like the Walmart, our Walmart has one of those propane tank dispensary things where you could switch them out. I would just buy. How many you got left? I'm buying them all.
Can you imagine during the chaos? I don't want to unlock the cage of propane.
I'll be over there unlocking
Everybody's
it myself.
probably like standing there just to jump in and pull as many cans as they can out. And alcohol is also a fuel.
Yeah, sure.
Both forms.
Fuel
One
for
you
the
can
fire.
drink and fuel for the fire. But alcohol can be used, to cook things, and it's also useful for your medical supplies, which we'll talk about.
Sure.
So for the unprepared, you're probably going to focus on your vehicle and fill up a gas tank, get a gas can, get that stuff all topped off. And then for the unprepared, a lot of people have some sort of camping supply, like a camping grill and stuff like that. So the next thing they should look at is
a lot of
propane.
people have just a grill out back.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
So
just fill up that tank. Or
look at
grab
your
an extra
fuels.
tank.
Get your gasoline or diesel, whatever you're driving, and then get you some propane.
Get it.
So before we move on, you guys are all shopping right now for Christmas. You're going online, looking for that secret little Santa toy for your kid or your wife.
Santa toy.
Santa toy.
Santa toy.
Anyway, stop. Okay.
Okay, I'm
kidding.
fine with that.
It is a Santa toy.
Okay.
But you could be going to some dangerous websites. And you shouldn't. You shouldn't do that without some protection. You shouldn't go there anyway. No. But the big thing I think about Surfshark is you're going to be traveling during this time and connecting to public Wi-Fi and things like that. You definitely want to shield yourself somewhat. And Surfshark has a VPN that's probably one of the easiest to use. They have a nice app that will apply to all of your devices. You just turn it on and it changes your IP to whatever server you're connected to. It's a really good way of going online safer. You can help. They also have additional service to protect you from malware, viruses. They can monitor email if the password's compromised. So pretty cool stuff. The other thing is you can use it to view different TV networks in other countries because you can connect to the server in the UK and watch some soccer over there or whatever you'd like to do with it. So
football.
It has more conveniences than just protecting you. So pretty cool. If you go and use our code Casual Preppers, 83% off from 24 months. Plus you get an additional 3 months, 27 months for less than $60. You can't beat it. And I have personally purchased this twice now for myself because it is nice when I'm traveling and stuff that I like to turn that on so that it's not directly connecting. Anybody could connect directly to my phone.
I gotta go to my sister's house this weekend.
I would turn it on.
Who knows what's gonna happen there?
Their web browser probably still up with whatever site they've been on. And
I know.
It's gonna corrupt everything.
Probably what's gonna happen. Yeah.
So, anyways, go check them out. Casual Preppers is the code, and you'll get 83% off.
Surfshark.deals/casual preppers.
I don't know where that's at. I didn't even try it. Just go to Surfshark. I think the very bottom is where you can put your code in.
Yeah. So let's talk about meds and health. I don't know how I got this one. It should have been Cam, but it is what it is.
It's good. Mix it up.
Yeah,
We'll see what you know.
So if you are prepared for this, I wanted to talk about two different areas. One of those being critical medications that you need to survive, just that keeps you alive, right? Or keeps you healthy and working and running. Like, you know what I mean?
Ibuprofen.
Yeah, I don't know if my approach would change too much in this area, prepared, unprepared. I would probably try all of these things either way. So this is going to get really difficult to do, but immediately I would see if I could get my prescription refill called in. I don't know how successful you're going to be if you don't have an in to a doctor or something like that. Like me, I could probably call Cam and he could get me something if I needed it, right?
Heck yeah.
But a lot of people don't have that option.
No.
They just have to go to their doctor and they have to go in and
You have to call the clinic that'll call you back 6 days later.
Yeah, which is going to be really hard, right? And especially
if at all.
But you could look and see a lot of times with your prescriptions, you'll have like 3 refills until blah, blah, blah. If you haven't used that, get that right away, right? You could call that in, get that coming.
And there's the 80%. Like, I would hit that. Like, if you're 80%, you have less than 80% left, then you can refill.
You can refill, yeah.
So most states kind of follow that same rule.
Yeah, so I would really try to do that.
Not less than 80%.
But what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to try and contact your doctor. Good luck with that. Maybe you can find someone else to prescribe it to you. Again, good luck. I don't know what else to do here, Cam.
You want some medicine?
Yeah, I just need something. Pills. Give me the pills.
I got pills.
What I don't know what other option you would have, right? I mean, to get those refilled, to
That's
get more.
about it.
That's about all
Like,
you can do.
Yeah.
So your next problem is going to be: is the pharmacy running? Are they going to be overloaded with people trying to refill their prescriptions? Maybe, maybe not. I just don't know how many people are that cognizant of those things,
Right.
At this time.
Not.
They're probably not, right? So it's worth a try to get that done. You might be able to, sweet talk a pharmacist or barter with them to get some pills. And this really depends on how dire the situation is and how downhill things are going, really, really fast. But it'd be worth a try, especially if this is like life-saving medication. I would consider it.
And again, most people are going to go to the grocery store that they also
Yep.
use that same pharmacy. So it's like you can get, while you're searching for your
Yep.
canned foods, they're filling a script for you. Maybe.
Exactly, maybe. So if that all works, or if it doesn't work, the next thing you have to consider and assess is follow your ration plan that you've set out. If you're prepared, you probably have some sort of a ration plan for whatever that is. If you haven't prepared, you're going to have to consider what that might look like. What is the minimum you could take and not die or get like a weird withdrawal symptom?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
This is so important that people should look at this whenever they're prescribed something that they need to be on daily. They need to look at all that ahead of time. Most don't. It's pretty frustrating.
Yeah, I'm sure they don't. Yeah,
but you're saying, it's like they need to start doing it now when they're like, I could possibly have to go off from this. How can I stretch it out?
Yeah, or how do I have to go? Like, how can
that's
I
something
safely?
you could talk to the pharmacist too. It's like, can you get me refills? And if they're like, I don't know, we're completely out or slammed, you can tell them, it's like, well, I'm on this. How long until I die?
Exactly. Yeah. Or how can I take one every other day? Or
exactly.
what should I do?
And what alternatives to
exactly. So I think that's something you have to consider starting and figuring out. And then your next available option.
A lot of people are on medicine, so
yeah.
Good.
Is there anybody that you know that might use the same meds? Maybe they have a large supply. Could you figure? I mean, that's going to be.
Are
tough.
they weak? Can you kill them?
Yeah. Can you choke them out, and then take what they have?
Yeah.
Probably.
Probably.
They're probably weak. They're on medications. But you are too. So good luck with that.
Yeah.
Or is the next thing you have to consider looting, taking what you need, and again. This is not if it's a short-term power outage or there's something just really minor. This is if it's a long-term thing and you can see it's going to become a long-term thing. You have to get that medication quick because it's going to be gone quick. If you don't go in there and loot it, somebody else might. So just consider that depending on what it is. And then the next thing, like Cam said, what are the alternative methods of treating your condition and what do you have to have and what do you need to get ASAP to start doing that when that happens, right? So,
man, pharmacists could really control the whole town if they
For
want
sure.
to. They're like, got them all locked up. What do you want? And
Yeah.
It's become like this warlord.
like the governor. Yeah, man,
Really?
it's crazy.
So
anyways, that's for like those daily medications that keep you alive or keep you sane or whatever that might be. And then obviously OTC meds are going to be a big thing. And this is where I would just grab everything you can. We saw how fast, even with COVID, like pain relievers, stomach meds, and all that basic stuff went quick, right? Like it went really fast. So if you don't have a supply of that, I would consider
if you have
grabbing.
kids, the liquid stuff, man,
gosh,
is gone quick.
That's going to be gold. Gold.
Gonna be gold.
Gold. No D on the end. Gold.
Well, if you're still pathetic adult and have to swallow liquids, not pills, then
I know, huh?
you might want to get that.
Then
too.
you might want to figure that out. So I would consider just grabbing as much of that as you can when you're at the store.
Yeah, for sure. And there's tons of other stores. Like every gas station has several of these too. It's like pick them up
For sure.
So this one's close to my heart.
No, for sure. Yeah.
That's why I avoided the meds one because I wanted to talk
you
about
want to
this
talk
one.
about this one, yeah.
This one's pretty simple, and it's obviously not as critical and crucial as all those others. But I think it's important because this is what gets people through things.
Yeah.
So those snacks and those morale boosters, you got to get them.
Yeah.
So while you're getting the things that are most important, you probably want to add some sweets and treats for either yourself or your kids. Like, I'd probably go more like simple stuff, like a chocolate bar, something you can break pieces off from,
Sure, yeah.
You get a little bit, Go get me some pills from the neighbor.
Yeah,
You get extra.
Go find that pharmacist next door. I do have a pharmacist next door.
That's true, you do.
Yeah.
But like, chips and crackers and things that just make food more enjoyable that
Yeah.
you can add to or, snack on. It's really actually pretty helpful for just feeling more comfortable, feeling more normal.
Yeah.
Even if you're a health nut, like picking up some of those snack foods and sugary things can really offer you a lot in terms of trade.
Yeah.
And it's like, hey, you want a bag of chips? Give me some of those pills.
Or if you're a health nut,
It's
get the
always
healthy
pills.
snacks. There's
Yeah.
healthy snacks too.
No,
right?
right. No.
I mean, nuts and stuff
No
like
one
that.
goes there, yeah.
No one chickpeas, I think.
Yeah,
People
chickpeas.
like those. I
Yeah,
don't
my
know.
wife finds all those like little weird health snacks.
Yeah.
Some of them are good. Some
Most
of them are not good.
Most of them are bad.
But you're already there. You're already getting food.
Yeah.
So throwing in some of these things to just make it a little bit more enjoyable, I think is pretty important.
Yeah.
There isn't a lot of difference between the prepared and unprepared here. Just grabbing some junk food, some things that make life a little sweeter.
To be honest, if I'm at the store and stuff's going down, I'm just grabbing whatever I can fit in my car.
Seriously?
Like I'm just going nuts,
Yeah.
right?
It'd be like that. Do you remember that game show that they just
Yeah.
like the shopping
Get
carts
as
is
much
full,
as
it's
they
like
can.
they're throwing like turkeys in it
Yeah,
and stuff. That's
yeah.
what mine's gonna look like too.
100%. Yeah.
And then they're gonna be like, "Cat, we only take cards." And you're
Yeah.
like, oh. Well, actually, it'd be cash. It'd be probably the bigger struggle.
Yeah, most likely. So let's talk about sanitation supplies. If you're
Obviously,
prepared, yeah,
number one for most.
it is, and which is really
Really query.
weird. We're really queer. If you are prepared for sanitation supplies, you're not going to panic, right? You should have that TP, your soap, and your tampons, and your shampoo, and all that kind of stuff at home, ready to go. When you find yourself at the store, like before it goes down, stock up on what might be left that you either feel like you're lacking on, or stock up what's left in the store. It doesn't really matter. Just grab some stuff. If you are unprepared, this is where it's going to get a little hairy because you might be SOL a bit. You remember toilet paper during COVID? Like you just couldn't get it.
As soon as word gets out, it's like,
Yeah.
there's not gonna be much of this, and it's just all gonna be gone.
It is gone, and it's gone so fast, and nobody remembers these lessons learned.
Nope.
Nobody's keeping an extra thing at the house. Like they're just not.
Except for Kobe.
Except for Kobe.
His kids have to bunk up because one room's clear full of toilet paper.
I haven't built my supply in a long time.
I know.
It's just been kind of.
You've had enough. You have enough.
Yeah. I maybe, who knows? Maybe I don't. But yeah, that's going to be really tough, right? If there's some left, obviously get some toilet paper. But secondarily, you can look at things like napkins and paper towels and baby wipes. All will get the job done.
Yeah.
Not in the bestest manner. But they will get the job done. And then you can also look again, like at those alternative stores like Lowe's or Cal Ranch. Both of those sell either toilet paper or paper towels, right? Another place you could try is an RV store because they sell that special toilet paper.
Oh, yeah.
For the RVs and stuff. You could grab that. It's not going to be as great.
This is special.
But it works. Wipe your butt with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you
Tears easy.
yeah. But the soap, the shampoo, the deodorant, don't get picky here. Just grab
Man, I am
whatever's in the
fairly
aisle.
confident I don't need any of those.
Really? Yeah,
Like,
I know.
I bet you I could wash the entire town's hair
For
with all
months.
the shampoo.
Months on end.
Yeah. And condition them, too.
Yeah.
They get both.
They all suck though.
Yeah, that's
They're
true.
none. I don't like that one.
Yeah.
Like I don't know.
I'd have, I bet you I could even like wash different hair types too. It's
Oh,
like,
yeah, for sure.
Is that oily? I got it for
I
you.
got it
Yeah.
for you. Let me get that done.
Is it dry? Is it frizzy? Hair.
I just don't understand. It's like I didn't really like that one that much. Like
It's all the same.
you're 40 years old. You still haven't found the shampoo that works. Like, what have you been doing for 40 years? You know what I mean? It's always like, I don't like that mascara. What have you been doing for 40
Yeah.
years? How come you haven't figured it out
Look at
yet?
me. I figured it out when I was a teen.
Yeah.
It's the 6-in-1 swab.
Exactly. I'm using the same shampoo, the same body wash. Haven't changed.
Yeah, it's all the same.
And to be honest, I don't care either of them. If
Yeah.
they're different and I get in there, whatever.
Yeah.
I'll make it work, right?
I know.
You'll get the job done.
Sometimes I'm like a little kid experimenting, like
Yeah.
like squirting a couple in. I'm like, wash because I can get
This is for
moisturizer.
dry hair. This is for wet hair. I'm gonna blow something up. Put it together.
Yeah.
Who knows what's gonna happen?
Makes it more full. Okay.
Yeah. Definitely need some of that.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, just
Me
get
too.
some stuff. Then you got to think
It's all
about
fluffy downtown. Anyway.
yeah. Never mind. I was going to say something. Anyways, yeah, you
All
got
the butt crack hairs.
Oh yeah,
Smooth as.
do you use shampoo down there? I usually use body wash.
It just runs off.
Oh, it
down,
just runs
down
off.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't directly shampoo
You
and condition
doing
my
your
butt.
head and then going in the back and the front with the shampoo to get it done.
Wherever the hair is.
Oh, it's all there. You gotta wash it.
Toe hair. Hand
Oh
hair.
yeah.
You want that smooth as silk.
My ear hair getting in there.
Get up in the nose.
Nose hair. Oh
You
gosh,
want it all
burned.
super smooth.
Burned.
Yeah.
My brows. All of it. Anyways,
My wife's gonna be like, "That's where all that shampoo's going.
You
Washing
let
all
your-
your hair spots."
your butt crack. That's $100 an ounce. What?
Seriously, that is the truth too.
Yeah.
I haven't used it for 6 years, but
Yeah.
I paid a good dollar for it. I love when they're like trading shampoos. Too.
No. Or mascara.
I'm gonna go get some from her. She says she got this new one. I'm like, probably wash her hair just like the rest of them.
I'm like, I don't get it. It's like she got some mascara she didn't like. I'm gonna try it.
They're not coming on next week after hearing this.
Hopefully they don't listen.
Yeah.
I just boggles my mind. 40 years you haven't figured out which one is good. and
Hair
which one is-
changes
I
by the
guess.
month.
Sure, but I mean like mascara and like makeup,
Yeah, I
right?
don't know.
Like, what were you using when you were 16? Did it work then? I
know.
don't get it.
It's crazy. There's so many of them. too.
Yeah.
So many of them.
Weird.
All right. Well, moving on.
Moving
since
on for sure.
We'll be divorced by the end of the year.
Yeah, it's all right.
Lighting supplies.
Mm-hmm.
It's always nice to have a little light, right?
Yeah, for sure.
It's gonna when it's dark, it sucks. So
Yeah.
one thing you want to
I
look
was
at is how
born
to
in the
keep the lights going.
darkness.
Yeah. You were really born in it. All right. Yeah, what did you say? I was born in it.
That was you've done a much better Batman, or I mean Bane than
Bane.
that before.
Yeah. You are. Yeah.
Yeah, the answer you are.
I haven't watched that in a while. I
It's
need to
been a
watch it
while,
again.
yeah.
I just remember the plane scene. Why would you shoot a man?
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, lighting supplies. Most likely at the grocery store. You can grab on the way out. There's always bags of Bic lighters. Like,
There
don't be
is.
dumb. Buy them.
Get them.
The other thing is a lot of stores they'll probably have like little cheapo flashlights and stuff too, but there's tons of candles everywhere.
Oh yeah.
Cake candles,
Everybody loves 'em.
scented candles. So grab some of those because you never know when you're out, when the power's out, that's the most convenient thing to get you some lighting. The other thing is grab some batteries for whatever flashlights you typically have. I guarantee you probably got one when you were like first married. It was a gift of a flashlight. It takes D batteries. So
Takes the
I
batteries.
still have D. They take these batteries.
They take the batteries.
I just saw one the other day. I was like, we got that when we were married.
Oh,
and it
really?
takes like 4 Ds. I'm like, that's the most inconvenient.
That's a lot of these.
It's the heaviest flashlight.
4 of them. Cuatro these.
It takes these batteries. Put them in.
Get me these batteries. I gotta get these
What batteries
flashlights
it takes?
working.
It takes these batteries.
These ones.
Put them in.
What I mean. Need some light.
The other thing is,
Making tortillas.
so yeah, and I said grab lighters. The other thing is like solar is always really convenient.
Oh yeah.
You have to leave a flashlight out in the sun for 6 years for a full charge.
Then it works for 10 minutes.
But yeah, that's exactly.
At half brightness.
But there's always, that's like, the solar, the little title on any flashlight.
Oh,
solar,
yeah.
you're like, well, that's catchy. I'm
I
gonna get
know.
that solar. But really, they are nice that way,
Sure.
in that you always have the sun to back you up with the lighting. The other thing is a lot of places are starting to carry those portable generators.
Mm-hmm.
Harbor Freight even has EcoFlow now, and
They do?
They have Jackery, and so I know for me, like during something like this, I'm probably going to hit up Harbor Freight
For sure.
because there's
That's a
so
great one.
many different things there. All their little battery operated lights that are like just super cheap, like $1, and you get one that looks like a light switch.
Yeah.
and you just it has
Buy 'em
adhesive. It has adhesive on the
Get
back.
50 of them. Put them all around your house.
Seriously.
Yeah.
But yeah, just buying up like little bits of lights. They're usually all there on the like in the cashier line. And then for something a little bit better, you go to Harbor Freight or Cal Ranch or any of those Lowe's and stuff like that. You're going to be able to find a lot of different lights. And I would probably aim for more solar, just because once you run out of batteries, you can just use the sun. It's always nice.
Always there. Unless it's nighttime.
For people, yeah, it's going to be nighttime all the time.
Yeah.
And then for the unprepared, I'd probably just focus on getting flashlights and batteries and anything solar. Same thing.
Yeah.
Candles and stuff, leave to us because we deserve them.
We deserve them.
Not the unprepared.
Speaking of batteries.
Yeah.
How about power and batteries?
For sure.
These batteries, you gotta get them. Like if you're prepared.
These batteries.
These, ace.
What size it take? Take these.
These.
What are those? These.
Yeah.
These ones.
2 ace, 3 ace. Dos ace. Dos ace.
3 A's, triple.
Tres ace.
3 A's, 4 A's.
If you're prepared.
9 V.
If you're prepared with your batteries and your charging, I honestly I wouldn't worry about this section that much. I would focus my efforts on more important things like water and food and meds or whatever. You know what I mean? But the one thing I would do is as this thing is approaching, I would make sure that all my devices are charged, like my power banks, my rechargeable batteries, because I have a whole bunch of rechargeable batteries now, which I freaking love. But I would make sure that all that stuff is ready to go. You know, full charge before the power goes out. Why not?
No, that's a great idea.
If you're unprepared, you're going to have to do a few things. You're going to need to get batteries. And you're going to have to look at the devices that you're trying to use those batteries in, which would probably be like, flashlights, headlamps, maybe walkie-talkies, like two-way radios or some emergency radios. What size do those things take? Those are the ones you're going to want to stock up on. Get as many as you can. These things are going to be these. I got to get these batteries. You're also going to want to see if it's possible to pick up a battery bank with like some sort of a solar charger, like Cam was talking about. This is going to be so good in this event, but they're probably going to be hard to find. I would assume. I don't know if they have them at like Walmart. These days,
they do.
Maybe
like when you're checking out, it's like as seen on TV.
Right, maybe they do. But like
they have a few.
But like a real like EcoFlow or Gold
I don't know if they
type
do
thing.
either. I haven't seen those. I mean? Only like at like the hardware stores.
Yeah. But you're going to want to look to see if you can get one of these. You might have to go to like the camping store, like the hunting supply store to find this kind of stuff. Yep. But
there's a lot of times when storms are coming, I always think about that. I'm like, I've got to get those charged up. Yep. Like, because, they slowly kind of lose charge, not being used. So, but yeah, getting all that stuff charged up is a good idea.
Yep.
If you can find the batteries, if you have children at home, it's like one of them's in a VTech camera and they throw away all the rechargeable ones.
Yep.
But yeah, the next thing is focusing on like ability to communicate with you, like you and your family, and also like your neighbors or whoever else you have in your bug out plan and stuff like that. Obviously, the focus for most is going to be their cell phone. The phone. Phone. So keeping that charge is going to be like most people's priority.
Yeah.
So the battery packs, like you were saying, or they even have, like different. Most gas stations are going to have like cords and stuff like that, and stuff that you can plug in your car, or even what are those the little plug-in? What are the inverters?
Oh yeah,
like a lot of gas stations actually carry like little small ones like that, and it's a massive battery and massive generator, your vehicle. So having all the cords and stuff for that will help you keep your cell phone charged, which is your primary comms device. Then a lot of places, a lot of grocery stores and like stores have walkie-talkies. Some of those gas stations too, if they're like a trucker gas station, they have about every available option under the sun. It's like you can buy a ham radio there, basically.
You can.
So, I would, while you're getting gas, maybe look at the option of going in and picking up some comms devices that truckers use. You can get a CB radio in a lot of gas stations.
Breaker 19.
Yeah,
there's HDF coming through.
And then they have a lot of different like boosters and stuff like that for cell phones. So that kind of applies to both prepared and unprepared.
Yeah.
It's like you're probably going to be stopping by a gas station, hopping off your vehicle. That's a good place to look for these. But if you're in Walmart or something like that shopping, obviously in the electronics section, there's a lot of different options for keeping your cell phone charged, boosting your cell phone, and then go to the hunting section and grab you some walkie-talkies. If you don't already have them.
Yeah, and something I think about when it comes to comms too, less of like the
Spray
actual
paint.
Yeah, you could use that. Is just in those last few hours making contact while I can with whoever.
It's true.
Right? And
stating what you're like, I'm going to stay put.
Yeah, and I'm going to talk about that a little bit later as for like a home thing, but like it's a good idea as much as you can. Touch base with as many people as possible while you can.
Yeah.
And just say, hey, what are you doing? Here's what I'm doing. Let's make a plan or something. I assume that if something like this is coming, Cam and I are going to have a phone call, which happens very rarely between us. We would have a phone call and say, hey, here's what's going on. Let's do this and this and this, right? Just because I think it's important to have those conversations while you still can.
Yeah.
I mean, you're getting ahead of the game if you can do that. So that's something I would consider.
I don't know if we talked about... No. Okay. Go ahead.
Okay.
The only thing I was going to mention on that is like while your devices are powered and you may have internet, it's like download some entertainment.
Sure. Yeah.
I don't think
absolutely.
I even mentioned that in here.
Yeah, that's a great thing
download
to
books,
consider.
download some movies, stuff like that.
Yeah, I like that. So cash. Boy, this is a big one.
Not CHE.
No, CASH. Yeah. Cold hard cash. If you are prepared, So cash, it's so critical pretty much in any SHTF event. So if it looks like this is going to be a long-term grid down, complete like life-changing event, even if I was relatively prepared cash-wise like I am right now, I'm going to go really hard on cash. I'm going to figure out a way to get as much as I can, right? First thing is maybe on your way somewhere, you hit up the ATM. The problem with an ATM is they have limits. You can only get so much, and like up to $1,500 probably is all you're going to get. But if it looks bad, I'm going to get out as much as I possibly can. And if that, if you hit your limit there, then you might consider stopping at the bank and pulling out a whole bunch. I mean, I don't know how much you're going to pull out, but if it looks like this is a big deal, I would pull out a bunch.
Yeah.
And I don't know what a bunch means, but a good amount.
$20.
Yeah, $26, $27 probably.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just get as much as you can as quickly as possible, and then because you're going to want to utilize.
What's the max you can pull out of an ATM is it 2,500?
I don't know. I think it's like 15. I could be wrong.
Yeah,
I don't know. But you're going to want to utilize this cash in that first few weeks, right? While you can. So I would just get a bunch of it. If this event isn't that type of event, if it feels like it's going to be a few days or it's a natural disaster or something, just don't worry about it. Utilize the cash you already have prepped. Spend your time elsewhere.
500 to 3,000, depending.
Okay. Yeah. The reason I say that is because those ATMs, those banks, they're going to be hot spots for idiots.
For sure.
For contention, right? People trying to take advantage of a crisis or people just flipping
Well,
out.
it's like, yeah, you just sit there and wait for people to draw cash out of an ATM.
It's scary.
Yeah.
Right? It's a little bit scary. The drive-up ones are less scary probably, but still like I would be careful, right?
For sure.
If you are unprepared, you're pretty much only going to be able to pay things with your card, with your Apple Pay or whatever. And if, the power goes out or the internet goes down, you're not going to be able to buy anything. Because of this, because you were an idiot and you didn't have any of this prepared, you're going to have to hit up the bank or the ATM to get some stuff. And I would try and at least any disaster, I would try and grab like $500 if I could.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Just try and get it. This is going to obviously aid
Any
you.
cash, you can get.
In purchasing all the stuff Cam and I are talking about today, you're going to need it. Or you can use it to barter and deal with neighbors or, get other gear, food, and water any other way you might need to. So that's cash.
Yeah. It's crazy. That one, I do think it's going to be kind of chaotic around ATMs and everything like that. Once you've kind of like, those other things are a lot more important. Now you're kind of moving to like, what things can keep me safe and make things a little more convenient or like more comfortable at home.
Yeah.
So looking at like tools that you could pick up along the way as well. For the prepared, I'd be looking more like tape, garbage bags, maybe some tarp, things to kind of block windows, secure doors and things like that. because you just don't know how long it's going to go and then what people are going to end up being like. So it's like, do I have enough stuff laying around to secure my home or to fix things? And if you don't, I mean, a lot of these places that you're already shopping for food are going to have some of this. Man, you need a gigantic freaking grocery.
Yeah.
You probably should go family-wise and kind of like
split up.
Yeah. Adult with like 2 kids and then another adult with the others and just kind of like
send all the kids with your wife.
Exactly.
That's what I would do.
Yeah, me too. Let them pick out what they want.
Just kidding.
And so, but yeah, like looking at some of the stuff that goes along with sanitation too. It's like tarps and garbage bags, but then looking at duct tape and packing tape and things to secure stuff in place, rope, cordage, all of that stuff is important because you don't know how long you're going to be hunkered down in your home. And if it's during the winter and you're trying to all isolate to one room, it's like pick up more of that. Even so, and I think I did a video too. The dollar store has like those big plastic drapes. You can use that for a lot of different things.
Yeah.
The unprepared, throw in what you can. Garbage bags. You're going to probably look at every store has different little hammers and tools if you're planning on boarding up your home and stuff like that. But for the most part, I know this is going to fall further down the list. Not going to be like priority for everybody, but something to think about along the way because there's always like the car and hardware section in a grocery store. You go in there and pick up some of these items just to kind of help secure your home and keep you more safe and comfortable.
Yeah, and if this is, it depends on the situation too. If this is a like a pandemic or something, you're gonna want like, I need duct tape, I need plastic to go. There's a lot of different, or if it's a nuclear event, so there's a lot of different stuff where this might come up further on the list because of that. Yeah, so we
always have plastic to paint furniture, so I think we're good
for sure.
It's like laying around everywhere.
Good to go.
It's all painted up.
Yeah. One thing to consider is your personal files, drives, photos, those types of things. If you are prepared, you probably have like an emergency document kit already good to go. So you don't got to worry about it. Just make sure you know where it's at and have that ready. If you are unprepared and you've already gotten all this other gear and you're at home and you have some time, I would consider putting some of this stuff together in a kit, like your IDs, your passport, your social security cards, maybe some bank statements if you have a will, a deed to whatever you might own, medical information, birth certificates, marriage certificates, photos, pet info, all that kind of stuff. You might as well grab that, put it together, get a hard copy of it, maybe even a digital copy on a jump drive. So if something happens and you need to bug out or you just don't know. Like,
you have to assume your home's going to be.
Yeah.
You could lose.
You could.
That.
Yeah, so if you have those things all together in a safe place, then you will have all that information when you need it during this crisis.
Yeah, I think you have to look at that too, for sure. And then the last thing to mention is just like once you've kind of got all that stuff and you're making all these plans, you have to consider, do you have some simple bug out kits? If you're not prepared, like putting stuff in bags or in the vehicle, so it's like if we have to go, like it's all kind of ready. Yeah. Obviously, for us that are more prepared, you should be looking at your bug out bags and making sure they're ready, making sure they're stocked up on some of these supplies you just picked up, and you should be going through them. I mean, I know that's hard. Like, I haven't looked at mine fully in the last almost year. Yep. So it's like I bet all my granola bars in there are pretty nasty. Yeah. But now, you've got all these supplies you have to start planning for. What if we have to leave? And so this is a good time to kind of restock some of the supplies in there and get it prepared for time of season and be ready to go.
Yeah, I like that. And then consider after you've gone out in town and you've got all this stuff and you're coming home, you put all that stuff away, you still have some time before whatever this event is. Some things to think about at home, like last minute preps that you can do. Number one is security. You could look at reinforcing doors and windows where you can, depending on what this situation looks like. You might as well, even if it's a storm or something like that, you want those reinforced and, in good working order. Lock all your gates, arm security systems that might still be working if there's power. Just look at security because this is where things get weird.
The longer it goes,
it gets weird.
People get crazy.
Yeah. And like Cam mentioned earlier, wash your clothes, wash all your dishes. Do it while you have power and water. Start fresh.
Yeah.
Right?
I never would have thought about that, but it makes sense. It's like, stinky dishes,
Yeah.
and you're like, I don't want to waste the water to clean them.
Yep. Do it now. Do it now before stuff goes bad so that you're starting fresh and at least you don't have a bunch you have to deal with afterwards, right? Charge all your devices. We talked about that. Phones, tablets, flashlights, rechargeable batteries, power banks. Start out with full charges on everything.
That's way important.
It's
It's like your entertainment and your communications.
Yes.
And it's
so critical. Look at your freezer and your fridge. Turn them both to the highest setting.
I saw that too.
Get it to the highest setting. It's going to stay colder longer when the power fails. You can even, freeze some water bottles and stuff that will help.
Yeah, so like filling all that space.
That's something you can do. Think about heating your home. If you're unprepared, you're going to want to find a way to stay warm. Cam just picked up a new little Mr. Buddy type propane heater, which was a really good deal.
Yeah.
But something like that would be really good. But even if you
Sorry,
can't...
Tony, I picked up another Mr. Buddy heater.
Sorry
I meant
about
to
that,
tell
Tony.
you. Meant to tell you.
Yeah.
It's a good time to tell you. It's right now.
Grab some extra blankets if you need to, candles, battery-powered even hand warmers, like those Zippo hand warmers. Again, anything you can do to stay warm. If the power goes out, you're going to want to do it. Prep for possible fires because this happens a lot when stuff goes down. Make sure you've got your extinguishers. You could go and connect your hoses for easy access. If things go weird, clear debris from around the house. If storm is coming, prep your home for that, obviously. And this is another thing we kind of already went over, but I think it's really critical. Your communication. Contact family and friends right away. Update them on your whereabouts, your situation, and make a plan with them if the comms go down, how you're going to communicate if you can't, and what the plan is to...
If you all leave, where you're going to meet up.
Where are you going to go? Right. This is a really good time to revisit and distribute emergency plans to all your family members. Look at them, it's like, hey, we got an hour before this goes down. If this happens, if this happens, if this happens, this is what we're doing, right? Continually monitor all those media outlets for information. Charge and get your emergency radio ready to go because it's going to be really important. And test other communication methods. Maybe it's two-way radio. Like Cam and I have a two-way that we're going to use as an alternate communication method. We could test that right away, make sure it's all still working. That'd be good. And like Cam already mentioned, prep to bug out. Because make sure your bug out bags are ready, make sure your vehicle is prepped, and monitor that situation constantly so you know when and if you need to go.
Yeah,
right?
I think that's a great summary. It's kind of like additional, but also kind of touches on all the stuff we talked about.
Yeah, it's good stuff, man.
For the most part, you're going after the water and the food, topping everything off, and then after that, you're kind of building for safety, comfort at home.
It's good stuff. Anything else on that, Cam?
No.
I do want to tell you about Contingency Medical. In today's unpredictable world, being prepared for unexpected health challenges is more crucial than ever. And that's why we are so glad we discovered Contingency Medical. Imagine a health crisis strikes and the usual channels for medications are disrupted. Sound familiar? We talked about it today.
They will be.
That's where Contingency Medical saves the day by providing you access to emergency packs of antibiotics for ordinary ailments like urinary tract infections, ear infections, strep throat. I'm going through that right now with one of my kids and more. We're talking about common antibiotics that treat hundreds of additional infections. Contingency Medical even has symptom management medicines for everything from nausea and diarrhea to motion sickness, ensuring you're up to the task, even if you're not feeling your best. I recently went through it, ordered my own Ready Pack Plus. Cam did the same thing as well. I can't tell you how easy it is. It's a really slick, easy process to go through. Contingency Medical also provides access to board-certified physicians for guidance on safe and effective treatment. Plus, your prescriptions are shipped from licensed pharmacies so that you know you're receiving quality care from start to finish. And get this, Contingency Medical offers free shipping on all packs. Now is the time to prioritize preparedness. Like we talked about today, you can't do this at the last minute. This is something you've got to do beforehand, and it's so
guaranteed
critical.
to be a problem.
Yeah. Don't wait. Go to contingencymedical.com/CPP now and enter promo code CPP for $20 off your pack. That's $20 off any pack at contingencymedical.com/CPP with our promo code CPP. Right, Cam?
Yeah. Man, this thing really is priceless. Like,
it's so
we
good.
didn't have this. This is an option I dreamt of, like when we started, and here it is.
It's here. It's awesome.
It's time for the quick and dirty medical tip.
Because I don't want to be filling your dang meds.
No, you don't. You probably won't even answer the phone.
I probably
That's
won't.
the thing.
So yeah, this one's super quick. But speaking of like nausea and vomiting, miserable symptoms.
Hate it.
Yeah,
Worst symptom
seriously,
ever.
it's like the worst. I thought this was interesting though. They did a study where they found that just taking deep breaths of an alcohol wipe or alcohol like on gauze or on a cotton ball or something, just like 3 deep breaths of it was better than any of the anti-nausea
Dude,
medicines.
I've done this before. I
Have ya?
actually had, well, sort of. I had an alcohol wipe that had like lemon scent,
Yeah.
and it was like
I didn't even know they made that. That
it helps
smells...
so much.
Yeah. So at 30 minutes, a statistically significant reduction in nausea score occurred from a baseline score of about 50 on a 100-point scale. Nausea score decreased to 40 with Zofran versus 20 with inhaled isopropyl alcohol.
Wow.
So burning, I mean, there's so many uses for isopropyl alcohol.
Is that like? Is it okay to inhale it that
Yeah,
much?
they said,
there's nothing wrong with
yep.
it? Okay.
I mean, they didn't get high like on gasoline. So, other outcomes that they tested were doing the inhalation with Zofran and also with just like a wet little piece of gauze to see if it was actually statistically significant. And it did. It reduced just as good, if not better, than most of the anti-nausea medicine. Obviously, there's different types of nausea, and there's something you can't control. But everybody has some alcohol at home, usually. They should.
For sure.
And so if you're having problems with nausea and vomiting in adults and kids, you can do a little whiff.
I like
a little
that.
whiff on the alcohol. So
Cool.
don't drink it.
No, just
So
smell it.
good, I feel much better.
Yeah.
Just drink it. But I thought that was crazy.
I like that, actually. Cool. That's a good one.
Yeah.
We do have the latest tack pack available we'd like to look at, correct?
Laid it all out.
Number 1 is the ABKT folding karambit knife.
Right here.
There she is. 3 and a
American
0.25 inch.
Buffalo.
That's good stuff. It's always good to get a knife.
Yeah, it is.
And then we
I
have
like the look of it.
dye-free Co-Grip. It's designed for AR-15s. The Kung Fu grip has a reduced angle. Interesting.
Is this it?
Yeah, it comes in a cool little bag.
Does this? I thought it was something you could eat.
And I don't look like cotton candy bag or something like that.
Eat it.
And we have the Raven Concealment Top Stop.
Not
All
this?
right.
Gotta be this, right?
Probably. And then we have the B&B Brass Roots Tee.
That is...
That's a shirt.
Oh, is this the tea? Oh, okay.
Yep.
Ow. Look, I thought it said ACDC when I first looked at it.
Oh, I see. And then we have the Grinch Operator sticker.
That's a good one.
And then do we
It's
have
a main one.
Then we have the Sylvan QD R200.
Oh, here's the retention sling.
Yep. And then the McLean sling.
God,
So anyways,
how they fit all that crap in there?
I don't know, dude. That's the latest tack pack. Use our
Impressive.
code.
Very
KG Preppers.
impressive.
Use our code KG Preppers. Anything else, Cam?
No.
Before we go?
Yeah.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
Christmas
have a
is
good
coming.
Christmas. This is the last one until then, huh?
Yeah. We're gonna have a very special Q&A
Super special.
episode after Christmas, before New Year's.
Yeah.
With the ladies.
I hope you all get some good prepper gear.
Yeah, I do. too.
Please tell us if you did
Mhm.
and if we influenced it.
Yeah. But the wives are coming on. That's exciting.
Yeah, that is going to be exciting.
We're excited for
And
that.
my wife's like super stoked
She's
for
not
it.
happy about it at all.
Merry Christmas, honey.
Merry Christmas, baby. Get on the mic. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, guys. Thanks. Stay survived.